Hi everyone and welcome to episode 236 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, as always, John back here.
Now that,
How's things, mate?
yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, actually, I'm fantastic because I'm several pints deep and I've just left a wake and I'm going back not long after we've done this. So, rest in peace, Simon. You're a really fucking good dude.
It's also entirely my fault because I'm leaving for a wedding tomorrow.
Yeah, so we didn't have other days. But the truth is, for this podcast, it's going to be short anyway, because obviously we talked about the Bristol City game last time. Neither of us have anything to say about the Leeds players involved in international duty, other than, can you not play Archie Gray, please? Would quite like to protect him.
No, I've got nothing.
Yeah, there really isn't much to say, so I'm willing to skip by that. And the only bit of really relevant news was earlier today. Leeds away at Rotherham has been moved to Friday night at 8 p.m, Friday 24th of November. The Blackburn away game has been moved to an 12 kickoff on Saturday 9th of December, which is fair enough because I'm assuming Leeds are going to take about 8,000 to that.
The rate Blackburn have been going, I think we could at least get 12.
Well, they just tend to give us whatever we want, don't they, at that end of ground?
Yeah, they just give us an entire end, and honestly, from our couple of trips there, they could give us that small stand as well along the side.
Yeah.
I assume there are season ticket holders in it, but they might as well just hand it over.
Nah, just shift them, fuck them. And on Tuesday, 12th of December, Sunderland v Leeds is now 8 p.m. because it's the main game on Sky, which has made my mind up because I went to uni up there and I was tempted to go and try and turn it into a night out. But if it's on telly, I really shouldn't. Like, even more so I shouldn't. Even more than being an old, broken man. Like, it's now also bad business.
State of your walk, mate.
Honestly, I've been awful today. I didn't even do out yesterday. I woke up and my ankle was in pieces. So, basically, we're straight into Norwich away on Saturday.
I hope we are straight into Norwich away.
Yeah,
Norwich are not the team that we left them as. They're broken.
No, I mean, I haven't looked back miles, but they've won one of the last 6. 1-1 draw and 1 lost 4. One of them is in the League Cup, so we'll let that go. But like they got beat 6-2 by Plymouth. That can't be good.
I'm guessing they got off to a half decent because they're 7th.
Yeah, so that screams good start. And I'm looking at it now actually. In the league, they won 3 of their first 4. They won 3 of the first 4, then lost 1, then they beat Stoke, and then we have had the bad run of form. And the draw, by the way, in that start was that ridiculous 4-4 draw they had away at Southampton.
Yeah, when Southampton were still good.
Yeah, so they're a bit of a weird side, and truth be told, other than the quick, 3-minute highlights on YouTube and stuff, I haven't really watched much. What I have watched plenty of is Leeds United. So injury news first, I suppose. Nonto is back in training and in contention to travel. Shackleton is recovered from his shoulder injury, so they should be back. Firpo is training but not ready. Dallas is training but not ready. Spence is only light training. You would assume that even if Nonto is fit, despite him clearly being good enough to start, that he probably won't.
Yeah, I don't see it at this point of the season, the need to play him if we absolutely don't have to. We've got 3 games in 8 days. And to be honest, as I look at them, and this screams dropped points all over the shop, outside of one of them being a local derby, I wouldn't consider any of those 3 games teams we need to be throwing in our best players against if we can get an hour out of them. You're looking at Norwich, Stoke, and Huddersfield. If he only actually
Stoke are away, they you couldn't say either Norwich or Stoke away are must-win games, but they are must not lose, and you should probably win one of them. If you got 4 from 2, you're probably okay with that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to chance it, especially when Dan James and Crescencio Somerville are playing well.
Yeah, brilliant Dan James. Love Dan James. Big fan of Dan James.
He's not wasteful at all or anything. I've never said that if he was slow, he'd be stacking shelves or anything along those lines. I never would. In fact, I haven't said that. My dad says that.
It's really hard to have a reasoned argument with someone when you're there going, I really don't value Dan James that much. To go, yeah, but he's like one of the leading assists in the championship. Like, yeah, but apart from that, like his end products, but the assists.
But he's objectively really effective. Oh, look at you making sense.
Don't you come here with logic and facts. It's not what I'm looking for.
And anyway, he's rubbish. He's dropped to second for most assists. Behind Leif Davis, who I predicted to have the most assists in the league. So yeah, their squad. When I look at their team on paper, like their expected team based on previous games, like if I look at their last game, which was a 1-1 draw away at Coventry, Angus Gunn's a good goalkeeper. Jack Stacey is a good fullback. Shane Duffy, I don't know if he's that good, but he is massive. So he's probably going to score from a corner. Ben Gibson is still there. Aaron McLean is good. Not Aaron McLean, Kenny McLean. Aaron McLean is the former Peterborough striker. Kenny McLean in midfield is a pretty good player and he's got a ridiculous engine on him. He gets around like mad. A lot of people talk very highly about Gabriel Sara in midfield. Truth be told, I haven't seen enough to talk about, but if I'm trusting other people's opinions, he's good. The main one is, can you remember that Jonathan Rowe, the young kid that he nearly scored against us? You know, when we shithoused to win in the last minute and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. And he looked really good then. He, this season, has been very good by all accounts. He looks like a really good player, and he'll be on the right going up against, you would assume, Byron?
Yeah, we're still no closer to having an actual left back, are we? So hopefully having had a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I've just looked it up. Jonathan Rowe has 6 goals and an assist. Say, you know when you just haven't realised something? Like, I knew Adam Armstrong had scored a few. He's got 7 goals and an assist. Fair play. Jack Clark has 7 goals as well, and I knew that he'd scored a few. Sammy Smodics has got 7 goals to assist for Blackburn.
Well, they're not doing well.
From midfield.
Yeah.
And John Swift's got 6 as well. But I didn't realise Sammy Smodics was having such a good season. As I said, when we're going through their midfield, like that Gabriel Sara is meant to be pretty good. They do, by the looks of it, flicking through other games. Some games Gabriel Sara plays in the 2, and some games he plays at number 10. And by the looks of it, that depends on whether Adam Forshaw's fit to be one of the double pivot.
Oh, Adam. It'll be nice to see you.
Adam! Reference for 4 people. I'm
you know what? It'll be nice to see him do his little turnout, spinning off the man in front of him.
Yeah.
Do the thing, Adam. Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of surprised because I was just looking at Adam Ider, and he's got 4 in 10 this season, which is his best in any season so far.
I was flicking through it, and to be honest, I don't really know a great deal about him. He hasn't been playing every game. He's
been promising breakthrough striker for Norwich. He's like young Joe Cole. He's 22 now, but I think, in Football Manager terms, he's still got another couple of years of promising young player.
Well, I think the problem is that Adam Idah has been also a promising young Irish striker forever, and now Evan Ferguson exists.
Poor man.
And I think that has sort of got in his way a little bit.
Yeah, I think that same thing happened with that happened also to him with Aaron Connolly as well.
Yeah,
so
he's at Hull now, I think, isn't he?
Yes,
but the other striker that's played a fair few games, we've got on loan from from Forest. I didn't realise that's where it was from. But Kwang Ui-jo, who's a 31-year-old South Korean striker, who has 18 in 60 for South Korea, but he hasn't scored yet for Norwich in the league.
That just sounds like the message that Homer tries to say to Mindy that is written in his hand, and then he gets it all smudged.
Yeah, but
it's a very deep reference. But
the only reason that he starts is because the cookie told him so.
Yeah, I look at this here, and there are decent players. I think this team should probably be challenging for the playoffs.
Yeah. One of their left back options, the Sam McCallum, who is either one that was at Southampton and was rated quite highly. Played a few games in the Premier League for him. No, I'm thinking of a different guy because he didn't play for Southampton. They had a left back, but that's obviously I know nothing about Sam McCallum in that case. I am mixing him up with someone else. This is the difference between the Championship and the Premier League. In the Premier League, I always am at least meaning the right person.
Not now.
And now I'm like, oh yeah, him. I remember him, and it turns out it was a completely different person. They've also got Dimitris Giannoulis as a left back, and he's a lot more established. Like he's got I don't know how many, but plenty of caps for Greece, and he's been at Norwich for a couple of years now.
I'm sure we had this conversation. I can't remember if it was on here that Ashley Barnes has an Austria under-20 cap.
Yeah, that has definitely come up. Is that where he is now?
Yes, he is there. He's got 2 goals in 4 games.
Wow, I wonder if he's injured then, because I've got it. I haven't got loads of it up, but I've got their last 5-6 games up here, and he hasn't started any of them. So he must be injured.
Yeah. Josh Sargent's still there as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one that was linked with us a lot, wasn't he? Just because Murica, I think that was basically as far as the link went, and runs hard.
Yes. To be fair, again, these 3 goals in 4 games this season. Last season, 13 in 40, which wasn't bad considering the year before he got 2 Premier League goals.
And weren't they both in the same game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, we were in the same 15 minutes.
That was a rough season for Norwich. We've been there, we know. Yeah, I would say, looking at their squad, I think if you're not competing for the playoffs, you'd be very disappointed.
You see, I must admit, I look at their squad and think I sort of agree that would be their aim. But when I look at their squad, I certainly wouldn't be that confident about it. For instance, I still don't think we're getting in the top 2, and I look at our squad and think it's a lot better than theirs.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose for me, it's you're competing for 6th if you're Norwich. Is probably where they're about aiming. It is full of experience. You've kind of got to give it that as you look through. That's it. They have grizzled Championship bastards.
Yeah, they have got a few of them, and I suppose David Wagner probably counts as a grizzled Championship bastard of a manager.
Yeah.
As does Daniel Farke, for what it's worth, because if you've been promoted out of it, you count.
Yeah. I looked at, they've still got Anel Hernandez. who is, I think, should be decent at this level.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you mentioned that Gabriel Sarah.
Yeah, I'd say I haven't seen loads personally, but people do rave about him.
He's for a midfielder. He's 1 in 5 as well.
Yeah. We've got that Plaqueta on the wing as well, and he's meant to be pretty decent. And but I'm guessing he's been injured because he hasn't been playing. But they've also got that Omabamidele, haven't they, as well, the Irish centre half, who gets linked with everyone all the time because he's meant to be the next big thing.
He's admittedly, I'm on Wikipedia here. He is not on their squad list.
Oh, I wonder if he went somewhere then.
I'm just going to have a look at that. Guess where every footballer goes? He's at Forest.
Oh, did Forest sign him?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea about that. I've completely missed that.
Yeah, I had as well, to be fair. Yeah, because he was a decent player, although admittedly, because I think he made one of his first appearances for them against us in the Premier League, and like the rest, to be honest, like everyone on the pitch that day, it looked rather shaky.
Yeah.
I know he is better than that performance. Yeah. But we should beat these, shouldn't we?
We probably, on paper, we should, because it's away. If you drew, I don't think it's a bad result. The only thing that throws you off is that because like Leicester and Ipswich have had such great starts, it kind of throws everyone off a little bit. You feel like you're so far behind already. But I honestly think it's too early to worry about that. And if Leicester decide to get 110 points and walk the league, then fair fucks to them. Like, you can't really argue with it. Do you think that Farke going back to Norwich will be... Do you think that it'll make any difference to anything? Atmosphere-wise? Because you would hope that he gets a fucking Heroes reception, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, especially given how they've performed since he left. Like I would like to think if you're a reasonable Norwich fan, that ultimately I don't think the money was there for them to compete in the Premier League. You look at the sort of players they've gone for, the amount of faith they've put in players that have been in the squad when they've got promoted. And I think it does paint a picture of we don't have the money to really make a fist of this.
Yeah,
which is hard. Like I think it's a very hard thing to accept.
It's a bit. I mean, probably this is to an even bigger standard, but it's a bit like Luton this year.
Yeah, I think it must be hard on the Norwich side of things because they've
happened about 3 different times.
Well, yeah, they have yo-yoed and they've and when they've gone down, they've kind of been competitive straight after that. Whereas this iteration has kind of gone a bit the way of Stoke. So yeah, like you'd think that there would be some appreciation for what Farke built there.
Yeah.
The question I ask you is, do they paint the away dressing rooms?
I'm assuming it's still pink. Like
that mellow.
it didn't work, but you wouldn't be asked to paint it not pink after you've done that. You'd just leave it.
Yeah. I'd be interested. I'd quite like to know that actually, if they've since repainted that dressing room at all.
Yeah. It's just strobe lights now.
Teams keep having to make substitutions because of players having seizures.
Yeah. The only other bit of team news I wasn't really specific about is that Archie Gray is available, but the way Farke was talking about him,
an intense international break.
Yeah, but he was limited to a recovery session today rather than full training. And Leeds, as you've mentioned, have got 3 games in 8 days.
Yeah, and you've also got Glenn Kamara, who I thought did pretty well against Bristol City, and if Archie Gray is not in the position to be starting this one, again, why start him? There is no need to do that. We have depth at centre mid. It's wonderful. We should have tried it sooner.
Yeah. So if you were looking at Leeds, then, I mean, you would think that there wouldn't be a great deal of change. Because Archie Gray's been struggling, do you reckon Ayling's back in at right back?
Yeah, I suppose. To be honest, I'd actually forgotten about that. I know him, Ampadu, and Camara all played in the same game, but I'd still forgotten that happened. Yeah, I think it's probably Ayling back in.
So in that case, Meslier in goal, Ayling, Roden, Strauch, Byram, Ampadu, Kamara, James, Somerville on the wings, and then Pirro behind Rutter.
Yeah.
I would be literally. You could put Gray in for either Kamara or Ayling in that side, and I'd be very happy with it. But that's a pure fitness thing, and the truth is, we have no way of knowing what that is.
No, and I also don't know. Obviously, Shackleton has recovered from his shoulder injury, so I imagine he'll be on the bench.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he came back into the starting lineup. I would need to have a proper look through Stoke's squad to see, because the problem is that I think that row might play on the left if we play Ayling. And 1v1, I think he might struggle. So if you could only play Gray 2 out of 3, it might be the Stoke one that you'd want him to miss.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that Farke said about Gray was, I mean, I think it said a lot about him. That he said, we need a discussion about what is needed on youth level. We need a discussion on this topic. If it's important to win titles points, then you have to play Archie 3 times. If you think about development, I would question this. And basically saying that him playing games for Leeds is way better for his development than playing games for England under 19s, which I think is objectively true.
Yes.
So it does make it sound like if he is fit enough, he's going to start.
Yeah, I think my one concern at the moment with stuff like that is Farke's tendency to leave substitutions quite late. Yeah. Even when we've been in promising positions, he tends to leave them fairly late on. And I would say if you're in a fairly healthy position with half an hour to go, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get Archie Gray off if he does play.
Yeah.
Again, you've got the options there. I mean,
podcast and no mention of Ilya Gruev. That's what I was about to say.
So Ilya Gruev is there. He's definitely. I assume, and this is me knowing very little about Gruev, that
I'm still not sure he's real, and I've seen him play.
I'm guessing he's Ampadu's stand-in essentially, but he's the lad who's pretty much going to play every game.
Yeah.
So,
but didn't we? We paid 7 million for Ampadu. We paid 4.5, 5 for Gruev.
Is that how much we paid for him?
I think it was something like that.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, which. So, he's only 20. He's a 23-year-old 12 caps. All of that. I have no idea. I still have no idea if he's any good.
The way you talk about Jack, the man is a Bulgarian international. Whatever that means these days.
It means it's an international footballer whose name ends in V, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at him on Transfermarkt, and he's got a face, but he might as well be an FM regen.
Yeah. Speaking of that, by the way, there is a legitimate chance that the beta is out today.
Yes.
So that's what. So because I haven't actually got round to buying it yet, I'll be doing that after this podcast finishes.
Yeah,
and then returning to the wake.
It's a big day all round, really.
Yeah. But so Leeds team we've gone through. Norwich's team, it might move, but it's pretty consistently 4-2-3-1, so it should match up well against us. McLean runs around like fuck. If Pirro is playing 10, that could be not great.
Are you thinking Rodrigo-esque?
Yeah, like don't know, this isn't like the Southampton one where I was thinking maybe I won't even start him in this one. I definitely would for this one. But it could be a thing that catches us out if they can play the ball through midfield well and sort of go from a 2-3-1 into a 1-4-1 and get that extra body forward. But player for player, I just think we've got a better side.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah. Connie, unsurprisingly, has gone for a 2-1 win because he always goes for a win. Alex has gone 1 apiece. KC, what do you fancy?
I'm going for a repeat 3-0 away win.
3-0 win. That is more confident than me. But I actually fancy us to win this, which is why I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Because unfortunately, that's the way it works. I just look at those teams on paper and I think I'm looking at like a centre-back pairing of Shane Duffy and Ben Gibson and going, they are good players and they're strong and they're experienced. But if Rutter runs at them, and if Somerville runs at them,
same with Grant Hanley as well, and you know they are prototypical British centre backs, aren't they? Kind of what you think of, like, I am big, I am good in the air. Oh shit, there is someone with some technical ability.
Yeah. The worry is their wingers against our fullbacks because that row is good. Fast Act is pretty decent by all accounts, as is Plaqueta. They've got that on Hernandez as well. If they get down the right-hand side, Jack Stacey can back up that winger and he's a good fullback. So we'll have to see how we do with that. But because I think we'll have more of the ball and stuff, I think we'll be okay in this one.
Yeah, I think we should be okay. I trust in Ampadu to make it all work, basically, at this point.
Yeah. And then Leeds are away at Stoke on the Wednesday, so we'll probably try and get back on Tuesday.
Yes, we will probably try.
Yeah. Yeah, let me rephrase that. We will try. Although we should have done the Simpsons thing. Look, Lise, I can't promise I'll try, but I'll try to try. We will watch the game Saturday, and then whatever day works out best, we will do. It will be one of Monday or Tuesday in all likelihood. But that's coming up to half an hour, which is about how long I expected. Have we got what else we need to go through, Casey?
No, I think we're all good.
Nice one. Well, that has been episode 236 at Mighty Lights Podcast. I will get this uploaded as quick as I can, but I've been Jack. See you.
I'm Casey. Have a good one.